rushes over the guard in nickel situations. Great playing range when he's healthy. He can accelerate, burst. He can really get to the football. You know, I would like to see him play better at times with his hands. Big decision is where you're going to play him. I think the 49ers just got a puppy. He's just getting started. Third-year player at Missouri. 2 years ago, he broke a Missouri record with 11.5 sacks. I don't think they were happy with the pass rush they got from Manny Lawson, from Paris Harrelson, Travis LeBoy. Aldon Smith, I think, Mel, is going to be an outside linebacker for the 49ers, and he will get there.
And he will. And the Houston Texans, that would have been a good fit for them had he been there with that 11th pick overall. Think about Aldon Smith a couple of years ago as a redshirt freshman, John. He was a dominant player. You see him coming off the edge there, getting into the backfield, getting the sack, had a lot of tackles for loss as well that year. Talking about a kid as a redshirt freshman, 11.5 sacks, 19 behind the line of scrimmage, and 64 tackles. Very active. Then he had the huge game against Illinois to start the year. 10 tackles, 3 behind the line of scrimmage, 2 sacks. Then he broke a bone in his right leg middle of September. That hampered him, obviously, moving forward. Missed some time, missed some games, came back, wasn't quite as dominant as he had been. Limited body of work, John. Only a third-year sophomore coming out early. Talked about Aaron Maven from Penn State. He, too, was a third-year sophomore coming out early with only 1 great year behind him. Aldon Smith, this would have been his 2nd great year. Unfortunately, he had the broken bone in the leg mid-September, or else he would have had as many sacks this year as he did last year. So for the 49ers, who got nothing from their outside linebackers in a 3-4 scheme, John, you can't have that.
You know, they're not a bad defense, right? They weren't a bad defense last year. It's a division where you can win. Jim Harbaugh is one of 8 new head coaches. How will he do as an NFL head coach?
He's going to do a great job. He's got a great pedigree. His brother's been very successful. Aldon Smith, Justin Smith, Patrick Willis. You have the ingredients in place to be pretty good.
And Jim Harbaugh, quarterback guru, takes a outside linebacker with Blaine Gabbert still on the board. So there you go. They're going to get a quarterback at some point, but they passed on Blaine Gabbert.
Well, they have the most picks. They have 12 picks in the draft, although their extra picks come in day 3 in the last few rounds. Speaking of new coaches, there's a new coach for the first time at the Titans/Oilers franchise. The first time in a long time. Jeff Fisher's not head coach. It's Mike Munchak. Here's the pick.
With the 8th pick in the 2011 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Jake Locker, quarterback, Washington.
Well, this is a guy.
So the Titans go quarterback. Remember, Vince Young out.
Yep.
Gary Collins, who knows? Jeff Fisher no longer coach. He dates back to the Oilers. Mike Munchak, offensive lineman. Maybe he feels, man, maybe I could block for Jake Locker.
I don't know, every year you meet a guy that really impresses you and you just love to coach. This guy reminds me of a young Rich Gannon. He's got a lot of guts. And I've seen him throw the ball and be dominant at times. I love what this guy brings. Competitiveness. This guy's athletic. He runs 4.5. He's 230 pounds. He's going to be able to keep plays alive and create offense for you. He might be the toughest guy that I've studied in this draft. He'd be one of those throwback players that would play without a face mask. Jake Locker did it with a subpar supporting cast at Washington. I think there were times that's all they had was Jake Locker. Great game day competitor. I realize he does have some issues with accuracy and inconsistency, but this is the kind of quarterback that I would love to coach.
John, I had him #1 on the board late August, early September. He goes 4 for 20 against Nebraska with a couple picks, starts dropping down the board. A couple days before the draft, you're thinking, okay, he's moved up. Maybe he goes to Minnesota at 12. Tennessee took him at 8 because they felt he was the best quarterback on the board, maybe outside of Newton. Maybe they had him ahead of a Newton. Bottom line is they're moving forward, Tennessee is, with Jake Locker. The issue with Locker is accuracy in the pocket. Completion percentage, 55%. Early in his career, he was at 47.3. Now, when he's outside the pocket, he is dead on. He made some great throws. I thought he made some good throws, even in the pocket in some games. BYU makes a great throw to get him down to the 30-yard line. Late in the game, it's 23-17. He did a touchdown to win. Running play, quarterback draw, batted down pass on 4th down. Took the ball out of his hands. I thought they should have let this guy go more through the air this year. He was banged up a little bit, John, because the supporting cast was subpar. Bottom line is, if you're not completing a higher percentage than 55%, John, in college,
you're killing me, Mel.
NFL.
I mean, you guys that look at these stats, they drive me crazy. I get arguments with you all the time. I'm watching this guy play against Nebraska. Where do you want him to go with the football? There's nobody's open. He's running for his life. He throws the ball away. It's a great play because it's the only play. It happens 66 times, Mel. This guy's got nowhere to go with the ball. He throws it away. The guy is a winner. The guy stood up for what he believes in. I'm going to get my team in a bowl game, and I'm going to graduate. He bypassed millions of dollars. That's the kind of guy I would vote for if he was running in an election. Chris, I love Locker. I'm a Locker stalker, man.
Well, let me ask you this. So, four-year starter, his percentage in the 50s, right? Completion percentage. I'm not trying to compare him, but Brett Favre, Southern Miss, four-year starter percentage in the low 50s.
That's why I like working with you, Boomer. I like that.
I love him. I love him. And Tennessee's going to, look, they're going to allow him some time. They're going to have to. Meanwhile, while Locker is picked by Tennessee, and that's an eyebrow raiser to some, Blaine Gabbert, quarterback in the green room, awaits.
Introducing Pizza Hut's ultimate stuffed crust pizza with toppings and cheese baked right into the crust. It's unlike anything you've ever seen. Choose meaty or pepperoni for your crust, then choose up to 3 of your favorite toppings. The ultimate stuffed crust pizza, only $12.99 and only at your Pizza Hut.
To increase fuel efficiency, its profile is sculpted for optimal aerodynamics. It reduces wind resistance in an irresistible sort of way. The all-new Ford Focus with up to 40 miles per gallon highway.
The underdog is holding the leash. The Spurs forced Game 6 after pulling out an overtime thriller.
Fire for the tie.
The upstart Grizzlies are one win from pulling off one of the biggest upsets in playoff history. Plus, Sunday, it's Game 1 of the highly anticipated matchup between the Celtics and the Heat. The NBA playoffs. Spurs-Grizzlies, Game 6, tomorrow at 9 on ESPN. Then Celtics-Heat, Game 1, Sunday at 3:30 on ABC.
Your stuff is out of control, but Bungie's ties and rope can really let you down. This is Raptor Strap.
The Hoover Dam can hold over 9 trillion gallons of water. How? Its arch construction diverts pressure into its neighboring canyon walls. The same principle applies in business. You must find support from the right partners who can help make you stronger. Choose a partner who is able to support you in every way. Cox Business.
A lot of people hesitate to call the Arizona Smokers Helpline because they're not sure they'll be talking to a real person. Ashline Quit Coaches are Arizonans just like you. They have families here, and many of them have struggled to quit smoking too. These Quit Coaches know what it takes to help. They can even get you free gum, lozenges, or patches. And the Arizona Smokers Helpline is totally free. Call a Quit Coach at 1-800-556-6222. You can quit. We can help.
Titans, a couple of notes here. I had a football executive tell me he is the anti-Vince Young in terms of just the way he works. He never apologized for going back for his senior season at Washington when he might have been the 4th pick in the draft last year. And just think about this. LSU coaches, defensive coaches who saw him as a junior, also had Tim Tebow in their league. One of them told me this guy was a better athlete and a better prospect than Tim Tebow, and also this, and this is not a knock on Tebow. Tebow, when he announced he was coming back for his senior year, had a stadium full of people. Jake Locker walked into Steve Sarkisian's office, that's his head coach at Washington, with his hunting dog and said, "Coach, I'm coming back."
And so Jake Locker, not Blaine Gabbert, becomes the 2nd quarterback drafted tonight. Now the question becomes, where does Blaine Gabbert go? The Blaine Gabbert slide is on, and you always see something like this on draft day. Brady Quinn, Aaron Rodgers, Blaine Gabbert is the next quarterback now to begin the slide. The next possible landing spot for Blaine Gabbert would be the Minnesota Vikings at 12, who probably never thought they'd have a chance to get Blaine Gabbert. Maybe the Miami Dolphins at 15, but Blaine Gabbert is going to fall out of the top 10 at a time when many thought he could go in the top 3 or 4 picks, Boom.
Well, that's because another quarterback went ahead, and that would be Jake Locker, Adam and Morton. And that's not, if you add up everything, that's not out of the realm of any possibility except what you've read the last week or two.
But he wasn't graded out as the 3rd best player or the 5th best player or the 10th best player. I had him 14 on the board. So it wasn't like all of a sudden Blaine Gabbert